If you're feeling the world getting tenser, emotions running high, and conflicts appearing out of nowhere, it's not a coincidence. It's the sky at war, and you're on the battlefield. This is no ordinary week, and this isn't one of those smooth transits that pass by unnoticed. We're facing one of the most explosive astrological configurations, the T-square, formed by 3 planets loaded with symbolic power: the Sun, Mars, and Pluto. What does that mean? That you're going to be tested in what you believe, in what you desire, in how far you're willing to fight for what matters, and in how much you're willing to let die what no longer serves. You might feel like you're under pressure, and you are, because the sky is tightening. And when the sky tightens, the ego cracks. Get ready. The battlefield isn't just out there, it's within. And your response to this tension will determine whether you come out broken or reborn. In astrology, the T-square is one of the most challenging aspects. It occurs when 2 planets in opposition connect to a third through squares, forming an inverted isosceles triangle, tense, unstable, provocative. In this case, Mars in Leo is in direct opposition to Pluto in Aquarius. Both are squaring the Sun in Taurus. This creates a symbolic scenario of emotional pressure, clashing forces, and energetic combustion. This formation acts like a cosmic friction fracture. It exposes what's unstable, amplifies tensions that were simmering under the surface, creates the perfect setup for rupture, confrontation, and transformation. Mars represents action, drive, ego. Pluto represents invisible power, control, death, and rebirth. The Sun represents identity, purpose, personal shine. Together in conflict, they spark clashes between what you want to do, what you need to transform, and who you believe you are. This T-square doesn't allow neutrality. You'll be provoked to take a stand, to act, to face truths, even if that costs you stability, comfort, or image. But breathe. As challenging as it seems, this aspect isn't here to destroy you. It's here to expose you and rebuild you. Picture a king on fire, full of drive, charisma, and determination. That's Mars in Leo. Life force, courage, impulsiveness, a hunger for victory. Now picture an invisible, cold force, watching from afar, in total control, ready to step in and flip everything upside down if needed. That's Pluto in Aquarius. Structural power, systemic transformation, inevitable rupture. Now place the 2 face to face. What do you get? Clash. The opposition between Mars and Pluto stirs a gut-deep conflict between the urge to act and the need to fundamentally change something you're still trying to control. You might feel intense irritation toward authority figures, a desire to impose your will at any cost, fear of losing control, a craving to break free from everything all at once. But beneath all of that, Mars and Pluto are asking you one powerful question. What are you trying to control that should have already been transformed? This aspect doesn't tolerate unconscious arrogance. It won't let you keep repeating power and desire patterns without awareness. It demands your strength be aligned with purpose, not ego. If you're acting out of stubbornness, misplaced anger, or a need to win out of vanity, you'll slam straight into the Plutonian wall. And when that happens, the fall is no joke. But if you're brave enough to see this conflict as a gateway, you can access a whole new level of power. Not the power to dominate, but the power to transform. This opposition demands you understand. Your desire will only manifest if it's connected to what the collective needs too. Your ego must align with your soul, and that is the boldest act of courage you can take right now. At the heart of this T-square is the sun in Taurus, trying to stay calm while everything's on fire. The sun represents who we are, our identity, our light, our consciousness. And in Taurus, it craves peace, routine, stability, pleasure, security. But when the sun in Taurus finds itself surrounded by Mars in Leo and Pluto in Aquarius, the ground shakes. It's like trying to hold up a structure that's collapsing from the inside. The result? Resistance to change. Fear of leaving the comfort zone. A desire to stay in control while everything around demands surrender. Taurus wants steadiness, but Pluto demands transformation. Taurus wants routine, but Mars demands urgent action. Taurus wants peace, but the sky is at war. This tension might push you to extremes, clinging to what's already broken, trying to salvage relationships, jobs, or habits that are long dead, sabotaging anything that threatens your stability, even if that stability is an emotional prison. Here's the hard truth. Stability that doesn't evolve decays, and that's exactly what this transit wants to show you. The sky doesn't want you to lose your roots. It just wants you to stop living like they're shackles. This T-square isn't just stirring things inside you, it echoes across the world. When Mars, Pluto, and the Sun clash, the collective heats up too. Political tensions rise. Authorities clash. Social movements gain momentum and intensity. Aggression spikes in traffic, social media, public spaces. Pluto in Aquarius speaks of systemic revolutions, of breaking outdated structures, of renewing power dynamics. Mars in Leo doesn't want to negotiate. It wants to win, shine, dominate. And the Sun in Taurus resists. It wants to preserve what's familiar. This triangle breeds polarized, radical, and volatile environments. You might notice more intense arguments around you, conflicts that escalate out of proportion, people picking sides without listening, and all of it reflects a much larger backdrop. The world is undergoing an energetic reset, and this week, conflict is inevitable. But what you do with it, that's the only real choice you have. While the world erupts outside, the main battlefield might be inside you. This T-square can trigger existential crises, clashes with authority figures, parents, bosses, partners, tension between what you want to do and what you should do, the urge to break free, scream, change everything, but no idea where to start. You might feel like you're on the edge, like something's about to overflow, but you're still trying to hold it back with small gestures, excuses, and routines. The truth, that containment won't hold. This aspect demands a direct confrontation with your deepest fears. Fear of losing control, fear of not being accepted, fear of failing, fear of changing. But those fears only have power as long as you avoid them. Today, the sky pushes you to face them, and maybe for the first time, say, I see you, but I'm not ruled by you anymore. This is a transit of symbolic death, of inner rebirth, of facing what's crumbling, and rebuilding from real foundations. The pain might be intense, but the strength you unlock by going through this is beyond measure. During a T-square, everything feels like a trigger. Every word turns into confrontation. Every silence feels like provocation. And that's where the real risk lies, wanting to fight everything and ending up losing yourself. The sky isn't asking you to go to war. It's asking you to figure out which battles are truly worth your energy. Do you really need to respond to that provocation? Is it really worth pushing a fight just to satisfy your ego? Are you fighting to create change, or just trying to stay in control? The spiritual maturity of this transit lies in learning to say, It's not worth my peace. And at the same time, knowing when the fight is worth it, when it's for integrity, for boundaries, for growth. That's when you go in with courage. Today, your greatest weapon is discernment. Don't fight everything, fight for what matters. A T-square brings pressure, but it's not here to make you collapse. It's here to teach you how to channel. The energy this week is raw, and if it's not expressed consciously, it turns into explosions, illness, or emotional breakdowns. Here are a few strategies to ride this storm with strength and presence. Physical movement, run, dance, train, get the tension out of your body. Mars needs a channel. Therapeutic writing, pour everything out onto paper, all the stuff eating you up inside, then burn or rip it. Active silence, not to avoid conflict, but to hear what's really behind the anger. Water connection, long baths, swims, symbolic cleansing. Pluto rules deep waters, diving heals. Breath focus, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. This brings you back to center. The key is not to repress, but to channel. This sky wants movement, but not just any movement, conscious movement. As intense as this transit is, it hides a powerful gift, the chance to grow for real. Every crisis reveals what you no longer want to carry, what needs healing, what you've never had the courage to change. Pluto doesn't destroy for fun, it destroys what blocks your rebirth. And Mars doesn't strike without reason, it just wants purposeful action. This week might mark the end of an internal cycle, the end of a story, the end of a self-protection pattern that's only been keeping you isolated. And what comes after that? A freer you. More whole, more real. You won't come out unscathed, but you can come out renewed. This T-square could mark the start of a brand new chapter in your life, if you have the courage to walk through the chaos without running from what it came to reveal. This T-square isn't just an astrological event. It's a symbolic call to close an inner cycle. If you've made it this far, feeling the pressure, the ruptures, the confrontations, it's because some part of you is already ready to die, symbolically. And when something dies inside us, a pattern, an attachment, a fear, the new can finally enter. So today's ritual is simple but powerful. Grab a piece of paper. Write down the pattern you're ready to release. It could be a fear, an old story, an attachment that keeps you stuck, a character you've been playing out of fear of being who you truly are. Then, read this out loud. I release what holds me back. I honor what brought me this far. But I choose the new. Even without control, even without guarantees, I embrace rebirth. Carefully burn that paper. Watch the smoke rise, and imagine your new self forming from the ashes of what you let go. This is the turning point. Not magical, not instant, but real. You've just opened a new cycle. The T-square between the Sun, Mars, and Pluto is like walking through an emotional fire. It burns, it exposes, it forces you out of comfort and into truth. This week won't bring peace, but it can bring truth. It can destroy the illusion that held you captive, and with that, set free your most grounded, resilient, and real self. You can come out of this transit trying to patch up what no longer holds. Or you can emerge from it like someone who walked through fire and found that they didn't burn, they transformed. If this video spoke to your soul, drop a comment. I am reborn in chaos. This phrase is an anchor, a commitment to your process, a declaration that you're done running from transformation. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon. Here we journey through the sky and come back more whole. See you in the next one.